Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
Good morning, New Haven. You're listening to Love Babs Love Talk on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. Babs is right next to me, by the way. So, but, you know, I'm going to start us off. Because, you know, I just got to do it. I just got to do it. But, we'll be right back with Babs, but I'm going to throw on some McFadden and Whitehead. Ain't no stopping us now.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing, nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen, listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us now. We've got the groove. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. I know. Ain't no stopping us now. We've got the groove. We got it. I know you know someone that has a negative vibe, and if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going, they don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna put our show together, gonna polish up our act. Well, and if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing, nothing 'cause I ain't buying. Don't try to stop us, no, no, no. People way behind. Oh, so they ain't no. Please, please, please. Don't make me stop. See, I don't know where we're going or where we're gonna end up. I'm moving on. But see, we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying over and over. Yeah. I said it ain't no stopping. No. See, said it ain't no way, no way. We won't kind of polish up. Keep us down. See, our time has finally came around. So we're on the move. We're ready, got to move. We're moving straight up. We got it. So we're on the move. We really got to move. This may be in our way, but we're gonna get there someday.
Good morning, everybody. It's around 9 o'clock. You know you got me. Love Babs, Love Talk. I am Babs Rawls Ivy. Okay, so I got beef this morning. I got to bring some beef. I got to squash the beef. I'm going to start the beef. all the things. So y'all know I like to hang out on the New Haven Independent site. I've been commenting since the beginning, since the dawn of time, since the dawn of the new age. So, I pick and choose what I want to jump in on. So anyway, Gary Highsmith wrote this daggone op-ed piece lecturing black folks about black identity. I don't know who he think he is to tell anybody how to vote, and specifically about identity politics. First of all, go trash talk that mess to white folks, because white folks been doing white folks voting forever, for 400 years. Anyway, he got this op-ed up there. I don't even know the purpose of that, because he lives in Hamden and he can't vote in New Haven. But, his minions or whoever supporters roll up on the site, gonna support him and all this other kind of stuff. And then there's some opposing opinions, right? Opposing opinions, which is the American way. You have an opinion, somebody's got an opposing opinion. That's how we get down in America. So, of course, I've got a contrary opinion. Because I was like, hey, bro, what? Because, I just find this whole conversation disingenuous. Because, you don't see Gary Highsmith in New Haven unless he's, pimping for something. What do you want? Oh, I know, circling back around for the superintendent's job? Is that how you going to think you're going to backdoor that in? Because you don't have the credentials to do it the honest, deliberate way. So you're going to come in. I tell you, when he was stomping for the job, I saw him more in New Haven than I ever did. I think he's from New Haven too. So my beef is not with him. with him personally. So let me clarify this, because clearly people don't understand personal and the political, which is often interchanged. So he wrote this op-ed, which is really a lecture to black people, or because he's talking to black people, lecturing to black people about identity politics. And you know, identity politics, don't vote for somebody because they black. Whatever. We ain't voting for Flavor Flav. What is wrong with you? But you think the white man's ice is colder? Ugh. Anyway, somebody up on the site took issue with me. Blue Girl and B Fly. So, you know, I'm always suspect of people who hide behind pen names. And every time I have to deal with somebody with a pen name, I do it, but I'm always going to let you know, and I am Babs Rolls Ivy. You can find me anywhere in this city if you want to talk. And by talk, I mean whatever. So these chicks, I don't even know. They could be Russian bots for all I know, because you don't know. So I said, I asked the question, hey, are you even a black woman? Like, what? I don't know. So then she, I'm going to say she because she's claiming she's a black woman. So she comes back at me with this, you're cyberbullying. I say cyberbullying because I'm asking you. I didn't accuse you of being a black woman. I'm asking the question. I didn't make the accusation that you were a Russian bot. I'm asking the question. Do you know what a question is? So I asked the question. So we go back and forth. I had time yesterday. I had time. But here's the thing. And then Blue Girl says some mess. Blue Girl, Red Girl, Orange Girl, whatever. Whatever, girl. Listen, this is where and then somebody else chimed in on pen names. And New Haven Independent, and I can hear it in a whiny voice. New Haven Independent allows for pen names. They do, because Paul believes in ways that people can access and have conversation without losing their damn jobs. But I have a contrary opinion, because I feel like if you got some ish to say, stand on it. Otherwise, you just talking mess, and you don't have any teeth or skin in the game, because words have consequences. So if you're going to talk that talk, walk it. So they're going to be like, oh, I have a job, I got to keep my job. Then why are you even up here talking? If you are so afraid to lose your job, what are you saying that's going to cause you to lose your job? And where are you working? Because we are taking issue with some of the points he made about the superintendent's job and some other things. So you either work at the Board of Education or you work for the city. Otherwise, how are you going to lose your job? See, this is the stupidity of people and their foolishness. Listen, New Haven Independent is going to allow you to be under cloak. I get it. And that's fine. I don't got no beef with that. What I got a beef is that, don't get mad at me because I'm calling that out. Don't get mad at me because I'm like, stand on your words. Because this is the mess that bothers me. That these people get on these sites and talk this mess. And then they are in polite company with people. They are in spaces with this very same people they are maligning, right? So it's like you don't even see the enemy with it. They all around you. They on these sites running their mouth, talking, saying all this stuff, but they don't have the conviction or courage to stand in somebody's face and say that stuff. And listen, let me be clear. Let me be very, very clear. This is not whistleblowing. Do you know what whistleblowing is? When you see crimes in action and you know that you have to tell the authorities. These people are not doing that. They're just waxing poetic based on their feelings. Because if there was a crime being committed, or if they could prove all the foolishness that they jump off at the mouth with, then they would go talk to the proper authorities. Please, don't talk to me about you have the right to have anonymity. Yes, you do. But I also have the right to call you out on it. Because if you cannot stand on your word, what you gonna stand on? And who are you to be talking about people and then be around them as if you didn't say a damn thing? What is that? I don't like that. Because listen, if I'm going to talk about you and be in a space, you're going to know it's me talking about you. I don't play that mess. And so all these people on these sites whining and waxing poetic about, the mayor, she's corrupt. But you won't go say that to her face. You won't go to the police. Because if you see evidence of corruption, what you supposed to do? You supposed to let somebody know. So you don't have any evidence. What you're doing is gossiping. And you taking what somebody told you because you ain't seen a damn thing yourself. What you are doing is taking somebody else's opinion and turning them into your opinion, and then you spewing that stuff out there as if it's the truth. If you got evidence of this mayor being corrupt, then you need to listen. FBI is right over there. Make a phone call. Chief of police right over there. Make a phone call. All you gotta do, if you feel so inclined. But this is the thing. These people sit in these jobs and talk about the very people who they get their paycheck from. You get your paycheck from. So if you don't, then what's the point? If you just somebody that's running a daycare center, who gonna touch you, boo? What's happening if you use your name? You think clients gonna just leave you? I'm just trying to understand this mentality. So listen, I think it's cowardice, and I think it's shameful, and I think it's lame AF that you could sit and talk about people online and be in their space and in their face, skinning and grinning. Because that's what you doing. Do you understand that? That when you make these character assassinations about people that you work with, and then you in their face and they don't even know it's you, who are you? What kind of human being are you? You don't have the courage of your conviction to say, I said this, and this is why I said this. So no, you want to be B-Fly and Blue Girl and In the Hood and Westville so-and-so and all these things. And talking slick. I go up there, I put my name. You want my address? I live at 75 Ivy Street. I used to live at 481 Bellevue Road. I don't live there anymore because the house got foreclosed and it sold in auction. So now I live on 75 Ivy Street, which I really like, by the way. So anyway, I'm always on the porch. Come through. Come through, people. Talk to me. Because I'm not with this whole anonymity thing. And let me tell you something. I have had a pen name too. Because I thought it was cute. It's cute. It's fun. Oh, but then I was like, oh no, I got to put my name on this stuff if I'm going to talk this ish. And this was a decade ago when I started that, right? So I already know. Listen, don't come for me. If you do, be prepared to Game of Thrones it. Seriously, I'm not the one. I will bark back. I will fight back. I will kick ass. That's what I'm about. I'm not going to shriek and cower and lower my eyes or any of that mess. You people are wrong. And if you're wrong and I see that it's wrong, I'm going to say it. That's it. And I think Gary Highsmith is dead wrong for posting that ridiculous op-ed. But he has every right to do it. I'm not, listen, let me make this clear. I'm not opposed to him saying whatever, because that's what opinion pieces do. I run a newspaper. I run opinion pieces all the time. But what I take issue with is that everybody's coming to his whatever. You know he's not going to be the superintendent of schools. He's just not. So, and I'm not convinced that he would be the best for New Haven schools. I'm not convinced of that. I'm just not convinced. So that's what that is. He's no more qualified than me. And I got a hell of a bunch of degrees behind my name. And I ran early education programs and stood in the Oval Office talking to then President Bill Clinton about early childhood education. Yes, I did that because I understood what early education was, and I ran an organization that was all about early childhood education and teaching children to read from 3 to 5. So yeah, so I know something. I know something about early education. I know something. I've been an adjunct. I've taught in schools. I've substitute taught in schools. So I know something about education. So I'm not an education by training, But I ain't Bobo the Fool either. So listen, that's my position. So all those folks who got their lips out about me ain't gonna tell me, well, it's a losing game, it's a losing battle to try to call out people on. No, it's not. Not for me. Not for me. Not for me. Let me tell you something. My loyalties lie on the strength and the back of black women every day, unapologetically. Tony Harp is my mayor and my soror and a friend. Carol Burks is my soror and a friend. Monica Joyner is my soror and a friend. I don't happen to be a Delta. I was chosen to be a Delta. I didn't walk into that. I didn't find Delta found me. Do you understand? And so everybody wants to talk about sorority life. And the only reason why you talk about it because you ain't in one, you don't know nothing about it, and you wish. And you wish. And then you want to come in, that's like, oh, somebody had the nerve to say, well, this ain't no black girl magic. How you know? How do you know? How do you know? And then I get the comments, oh, few black people in this city feel the way you do. What do I care about that? You know who I care about? This one black girl sitting right here with all the magic. I only care about what it means to me. I'm not trying to move the masses. I'm not a DJ or a politician. I'm not trying to move the masses. So y'all got that wrong. I don't care if nobody else got the same opinion. Are you kidding me? You know how many days out the week people don't agree with me? And you know how many days out of the week I care? No, riddle me this. How many days of the week does Babs care about what people say about her? Do 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 do. The answer, Alex, for 2000, 0. 0. I'm just saying. I'm like, you know what? These people, I'm gonna keep commenting too. I could do this all day. I could do it all night. I could do it all day. I could do it all night. I could do it all day. I could do it all night. I had time yesterday, and honestly, it doesn't make me mad. Like, none of this makes me mad. Sometimes it's fun. Like, a lot of times when I go into a long commenting stream with folks on the site, it's because it's fun to me. Because I just like just being like, challenging. And then when 3/5 jump in, then I know then I'm like done. Because he comes from a whole other thing. And I was like, and it's hard to get that low and to battle that back. So I just like let it go. I was like, so once he jumps in the fray, I'm like, oh, game over. You know what I mean? It's like when the sloppy kid comes to the playground with the nasty ball and you're like, no, I don't want to play. I'm done. And that's how I feel, right? So like when he jumps in, and I was like, oh. I'm like, no, bruh, I'm not interested now. It was fun with the other people, but now you come in and you say ridiculous stuff. And I was like, like, this was fun. Now it's not fun. So there we go. So but I think I'm done commenting on that thread. I think I've driven the points as far as I could go with them, or as far as I want to go. And people were like mad. People are mad. I was like, all right, be mad. You know what? And and my friends who know, I was like, here's a cape. Be super mad. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It just cracks me up, I was like, I did it in politics. You got to be kidding me. You think I'm a hand this city over to this white guy with no experience? Pfft, forget about it. And if he was a black guy, I would say it. Black is not the factor. Black is not the factor, people. Shoot. But I'm always going to align myself with the black woman because I know Tony Harper is smart and intelligent. Yeah, she has some missteps and she got some clowns around her. But who among us don't? She just gotta, you know what she gotta do? She gotta clean up the circus. And then this next term, she should clean up the circus. And we are. I will tell you this though. Some folks made some good points about some of the people she hired, and I can't take issue with none of that because it's true. I'm feeling everything about some of those comments. She got a clean house. She's got to empower Sean to, like, she's got to treat City Hall like the Game of Thrones. See, come on. This is politics. It only is good as you are. So she's got to clean house. You know, she's got to get rid of all these people who, you know, listen, this is how this should go. This is politics 101. She should never have to come off the throne or pick up the sword. Everybody in front of her ought to be in battle and stay in battle mode. From communications to the chiefs to the deputy mayors. That's how you have to set that up. Don't y'all play chess? Does anybody play chess anymore? Anybody? Where are the rooks, the knights, the pawns? Where are those things? She should not have to go into battle ever. Everybody in front of her ought to be suited up every single day. So when stuff happens or jumps off, she's not on the front lines explaining that mess. It ought to be dealt with before it even gets to her desk. Come on, people. Man, listen. Let me tell you something. Politics 101. No one should be getting in her face. Everybody should be briefed and on the same page. The message should be clear and unified. Everybody. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna play some music and then I'm gonna come back and then I'm gonna talk about Ava DuVernay's film. I hope everybody got a chance to watch it last night before midnight. Oh my God, what a fine piece of work. Seriously, a fine piece of work. So I'll come and talk about that in a minute. Mary J. Blige. Indestructible.
I know he hurt you after swearing that he would change. You're not the first to take him back again and again, and you ain't the first to cry, ain't the first one asking why. So you can't give up the fight. You never know when it's your time. Think about how valuable you are. Don't let what he put you through cause you to close your heart. I know your heart is aching, but you can't let him break it, baby. You gotta love like you've never been hurt to find a love that you deserve. Be indestructible, indestructible, indestructible. To find love, you must be indestructible. You must be indestructible. I know it took you to a place where there was no love, and he left you so numb. You're protecting your heart, but girl, you need it. Don't let him take away your feelings. No, so much to get over. You're feeling stuck, but you wanna move forward. If you're ready, then love will find you. Keep moving, don't look behind you. Think about how valuable you are. Think about it, girl. Don't let what he put you through cause you to close your heart. I know your heart is aching, but you can't let him break it, baby. Don't let him break your heart. You gotta love like you've never been hurt to find a love that you deserve. Be indestructible, indestructible, You must be indestructible. Oh yeah. Oh, you never know when. Oh, love's gonna come, so you gotta be ready. I'm staying open to the possibility that it's coming for me. You don't wanna end up in a place where you're not real. It would be so sad. You got to a place where you can't heal. No. Think about how valuable you are. Think about it. Think about it. Don't let what he put you through cause you too close. Don't let him make you. I know your heart is aching. I know your heart is aching. You better break it, baby. You gotta love like you've never been hurt. You gotta do to it find a love that you deserve. You deserve a chance. Indestructible, baby, indestructible, indestructible, the indestructible. You must be indestructible. Don't let him break you down. Oh, you must be strong, you must be strong. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd pop a little Mary J. Blige because I just like it. Indestructible. I just like it. I like the title. I just like the tone of it. So anyway, Array Pictures, Ava DuVernay's production company, released a film called The Day in the Life. August 28th, A Day in the Life of a People. And so, August 28th is pivotal because it is the day that the first Africans landed on the shores of Jamestown, Virginia. And so what she did was she just took different time frames of August 28th that were pivotal in Black folks' lives and just showcased it with celebrities in character. So you had Glenn Turman. I want to tell the whole thing because it's so powerful. But Glenn Turman is in it. Lupita and Michael Ealy and they're a couple watching Barack Obama give his speech and oh my God, it's like 20. It's a 20-minute film, and can't nobody shoot Black people like Ava DuVernay. I mean, everybody's just beautiful. Angela Bassett is in the film, and so the words are poems like "I've known rivers," that kind of thing. And the "I've known rivers" poem is a part of. They used it for the Katrina, and a woman is in her house trying to get out of her house when the floods come, and then. I've known rivers. And then you see her swimming in her house trying to get out. And it's her voice that you hear reciting the poem. And then there's there's Angela Bassett and I can't think the actor's name. And they're at the March on Washington waiting to hear Dr. Martin Luther King. And they are speaking in a particular poem that is I think it's Zora Neale Hurston's poem, but you've got to, if you get opportunity to see it. I don't know how you get to see it after last night. It was up until midnight. I mean, it was just something. And there's Don Cheadle and Michael Oyelowo was in it. Oh God! Claude McKay's "If We Must Die." Oh my God! It is, and they are you see them as the brothers that are making the pine box to ship Emmett Till's body up to Chicago. And so before that, you hear the story of Emmett Till and what happened, and then the frame opens up, and it's them creating the pine box. It is just, oh man. I mean, it's just stunning to see a day in the life of August 28th, and it's such a pivotal. I think if I think I'm going to hold August 28th sacred from now on. From this day forward, right? I'm just gonna hold it sacred. And if people are trying to reach me about my previous commentary, I don't have my phone. It's at my house, so I have to go home and pick up my phone because I don't have it. And not having your phone is like not having earrings. It's like being naked. So I don't have my phone, so I can't respond to anything. I will after the fact, in about half hour after I leave. Anyway, so Yeah. So yeah, I just appreciate it, and I'm glad I got a chance to sort of watch the film. I think Ava DuVernay is one of the finest storytellers of our generation, of my generation, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of folks that could tell a damn story through film and stuff. I mean, she ain't no Julie Dash. Daughters of the Dust still remains my favorite film. But I've been a fan of Ava DuVernay's forever, right? So I love this film, and I love the little commercials that she has done. I just go to avaduvernay.com. I don't think you can see the film anymore. I think you have to subscribe to something in order to see it. I don't know. I didn't read past you have until midnight to watch this thing. And I said it to everybody I know. I was like, "Woo, see this film before midnight. See this film before night." And some people was like, "Oh, I'll get to it. Whatever. Listen, you're gonna miss out." So and indeed you did. It was a fine piece of, and I tried to send it far and wide. And so yeah. So for me, I'm telling you, as I said the other day, August for me has become my New Year's. It used to be October, right? Because so much ish happened to me in October, right? All kinds of celebratory and sorrowful things happen in October. But I think October is like, now it's done, right? So the attachment to all of that has dissipated. So August is my new black. And August 28th is my new sacred time. And that will allow me to have reverence for 400 years, and then in the life of black people, a day in the life of black people throughout time. August 28th. And so I want to add my life to the August 28th thing, and I just feel like I got to do something with that, and I think I will. So anyway, I probably got to bounce. So I'm gonna play a little Kid Cudi. Y'all know Kid Cudi, All In. I feel like that. I know this is way out of the realm of what I dig, but I dig this. So I'll be back tomorrow.
Sometimes I just don't know what to believe in now. Hate the things that I said I didn't mean them. Bangkok, trying to piece my thoughts. Don't wanna be no burden, I always piss you off. How could a man not wanna disappear? I'm exposed and I am pure. No one makes me feel secure except you and I were all in. I can't explain. I know your heart is all and no one takes your place. I hate the man that I was, so I'm becoming. We're learning together now. We're learning together right now. Facing the man that I was, tired of running. I'm exposed and I am pure. Except you and I were all in, all in. We're all in deep, all in. Whatever happens, happens. We're all in, all in. I am all in. Whatever happens, happens.
Stay tuned for Michelle Turner, The Show. She's up next. Hi, this is Babs Rawls-Ivy from New Haven, Connecticut, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, streaming live at newhavenindependent.org.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing stand in your way. has a negative vibe. And if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going, they don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna put our show together, gonna polish up our act. Wow. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing stand in your way.
W N 8 L P 1 O G point 5 F M New Haven Streaming Live at www. dot No, yeah. Dot org.
Excuse me, Dougie Fresh.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a show with fellas on the mic with 1 minute rhymes that don't come out right? They bite.
They never write.
That's not polite. Am I lying?
No, you're quite right.
Well, tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear.
We swear the best star rappers of the year.
So, cheerio,
yell,
scream,
bravo.
bravo.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
You're listening to the show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and newhavenindependent.org. We're also streaming live on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/newhavenindependent or just go to your own Facebook page and look us up. Well, here I am without a guest. And I had so promised myself that I would not do this anymore because I feel like I have a responsibility to the listener. You know, that's the traditional journalist in me, right? But I have been sort of under the weather, and I did have a guest, and then my guest got ill, and I didn't follow up with that. Not to mention, I have a lot going on at the job, like most of us do, right? But when you have to do reports, and those reports have to absolutely, positively have to get done, then I don't know about you, but for me, the mindset gets concentrated elsewhere. It becomes my first mind. And whatever's on my first mind usually pushes everything else to the back. And it's not to say that this show isn't important, because it is. But I have just been busy with work, like the jobby job. So, you know, and I thought that at this phase of my life that, you know, multitasking was not necessarily an issue. But I find that the first thing that is on my mind that is really priority wins out on everything else, and that's where all my focus goes. So, I love this show. I love y'all. I'm glad you listen. I'm glad you support WNHH as well, because we do make a real footprint in this community. And the community loves us. They do listen. But I have just been icing my ankle and writing and doing work and doing some things for sickle cell. There is a walk race, 5K walk run race that is being done by the Sickle Cell Anemia organization out of Southern Connecticut. And I know I don't have that necessarily correct, but the point is on September 28th, starting at 9 a.m. They're going to be doing the walk run. And they've named the run part after Jim Barber, Mr. Jim Barber, who was a legendary track coach and an iconic track and field person in his own right during the 1960s, late 50s. And now he holds a position over at Southern Connecticut State University, where countless African American and Latino students have benefited from Mr. Barber's always helping them get through or get over the financial hurdle, the social hurdle, and the school hurdle. Because, you know, for a lot of kids, it's kind of a lot to be away from home. It's a lot to take on a new responsibility. It's a different type of studying and a different type of expectation as far as being a student. And they always have Mr. Barber. And not to mention, Mr. Barber also ran, I don't know if it still runs, I got to find out, but he ran a track and field program in the community that has assisted over the years over 4,000 children. So it's only fitting that the run part of the event be named after Mr. Jim Barber. But it starts at 9 a.m. September 28th. And you can go to the sickle cell anemia page and on Facebook, of course. When I say page, I mean Facebook, not Insta, as it is said now. And sign up for the run and the walk. They take folks from probably 5-year-olds all the way up to 83, and there are different categories. There is a cost for the race, but I want you to look that up and figure out if it's something you're going to do. And it is fee-based. So don't think, I believe it's $25, but I want you to look that up because I can't grab my phone and look it up right now. But go to the sickle cell page, look up the race. You know someone that you want to walk with. If you want to walk with someone to raise funds for somebody that you know that might have the trait or the disease, enter the race. Walk the 5K. It'll be good for you, and it supports a real cause. I don't know if you've heard of Michelle's House. Not named after moi, but Michelle Obama. And I know you've probably seen, if you've passed Chapel and Orchard, the large greenish Victorian house that stands on the corner there. That's Michelle's house, and it's going to be the first of its kind in the Northeast, excuse me, that deals with people who are affected by sickle cell, be it those who have the disease or those who have the trait. In essence, it will also educate the public in regard to the disease. And students who usually don't have the opportunity to go to school because of the disease will be able to have tutoring at the house. So if you enter this race walk run, please consider the fact that this is something that benefits the African American community. And sometimes sickle cell does not just affect the African American community. There are people who suffer from Tay-Sachs disease. And I believe that those are folks that are of Middle Eastern origin. There are also Latinos affected. So put your walk shoes on, get a team together, get your friends together, give some money to sickle cell by raising money for people to walk. You know, you say you walk X amount of miles. So do that, because it's so important. It's important that we start to really work on controlling and eradicating sickle cell. You can't get around it. This is the 21st century. I always say that. But it's important that you understand that this disease has not been given the attention that it needs because of finances, because the people who need the medication can't afford the medication. So big pharma does not necessarily look at sickle cell as something they can make money from. Therefore, there is not enough extensive research. So when you do things like this sickle cell walk, you raise money to support people in ways that they don't get it or get from other corporations, organizations, et cetera, et cetera. And if we can start to really focus on people in New Haven, in the greater New Haven community, and in Southern Connecticut who are suffering from this disease and assist them in any way possible, then we are moving toward making research a reality for this disease. So please, 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 please support this race, support this run walk on September 28th at the corners of Cold Spring Streets and East Rock Park. Okay? Orange and Cold Spring Streets in New Haven. East Rock Park, College Park, that area is part of the route. And the next time I come, I'll have route information for you as well, okay? But please support this. It's so important that you get out there and try to move research and support for this disease, or those affected, I should say, by this disease into the 21st century. Excuse me. Now, that's what I've been doing a lot of writing for. Now, let me tell you about my ankle. Not that you want to hear about it, but I'm going to say it anyway. So I was on my way to see Morris Day on the green. Now, that's how long ago this has been. And I had on flip-flops. Now, I had one of my sorority sisters say to me a few years back, you know, flip-flops are really bad for you. And I said, yeah, I know that. I know about flip-flops. I read, you know, ha, ha, ha. Well, that Saturday, I decided I would walk to the green because I don't live that far from the green, like 15, 20 minutes, right? So I figured I would walk and I'd be really cute, my little shorts and my little flip-flops and colorful top. Had my chair over my shoulder, figured, oh, I'm all right. And it, you know, it was a good walk. Then I turned by Paulie Murray College. That's the new dorm between Prospect and where the Whale is, the hockey ice rink. I turned that corner and it's a brand new sidewalk. So it's not like I had anything to trip over or there were rocks or anything like that. And it's relatively cool because it's the evening. So, you know, nothing's blowing, you know, nothing. There's nothing on the sidewalk. Just me walking in flip-flops. And I heard something and I felt something go. Now, I know it's not a broken bone because I've had a broken bone before. However, this thing felt like a rubber band had snapped inside my foot, like it had stretched out and then gone back. And it hurt like the dickens. Now, I'm not a former athlete, so I have no reason for anything to be, you know, like over the years pounded on. I am a walker. I usually do bow and field when I can get up in the morning or I have the time. And I work out in the house. I have some workout tapes, right? So I work out in the house as well. But this hurt really bad. So I said, all right. So I tried to walk it off a little bit. And for, you know, a few minutes it hurt. And then the pain went away. So I went to Morris Day. I stood on my feet. Didn't feel any pain. Danced a little bit. Didn't feel any pain. Me and Ife, because you know Ife always dances no matter where she is if the music's good. You know the music's good if Ife gets up and dances. And lo and behold, Sunday, I thought somebody had pulled my arch out of my foot. It hurt me so bad. So I put ice on it. And, you know, right now, I can't do hard surfaces. Standing for long periods of time on hard surfaces is not working for this left foot. So I've been in the house, or I've been somewhere where I can prop my foot up and put ice on it. So I've missed a lot of beautiful things, like the Chambers party yesterday over at the new boathouse. If you get the opportunity, please go to the boathouse. I was fortunate enough when I sat on the board of Schooner Inc. to see the renderings for the boathouse, because at that point, Schooner had a vested interest in putting in storage lockers for people's kayaks at the house. So, on the side, which at that time they did call it the house, but I'm sure they don't call it that anymore. So it was nice to go the weekend. I went the weekend that they had an open house and really walk through it and see what they had done, and to see that come to life. And it is a beautiful facility. Not only is it a beautiful facility, but it's in a perfect spot, because you can kind of get a 360 view of Long Wharf. And it has the history of Long Wharf. I'm a history buff. And it's just a gorgeous space. It really, really is. So I'm sure that last night's event was really awesome. And I'm sorry I missed that. But again, I can't stand that long on hard surfaces. And I'm sure they had chairs, but who wants to go someplace and hobble? You know, I'm not that chick. I like to be up and around and moving, and I'm not a hobbler per se, because as it is, I hobble at work. So, and I've been wearing sneakers with bandaged sock over the past few weeks. Blew my doctor's appointment because I've been so focused on other things that the doctor's appointment was Monday. They called me to remind me, and guess what? They didn't put the time in there either. So I have to go next week, and we'll see what the deal is as far as what this could possibly be and how I'm being affected. So yeah, 2 reasons why I don't have a guest. I heard that, well, let me back up. I got the opportunity. I haven't seen the Video Music Awards in I don't know when. Probably I haven't sat and watched the Video Music Awards in probably, my kid is in her 20s. Probably in about 12 years. No interest. Most of the time, I don't know the folks. I really don't care about them or their music. And that's saying a lot, because I really do dig music. And when I don't particularly care who's on the screen, then something ain't right. But anyway. So my daughter comes and says, "Come on, Ma, put some more ice on your foot and watch the Video Music Awards with me." So I was like, all right, I'll do that. And Taylor Swift came on. But she don't compare to Lizzo. Lizzo is so dynamic. And, you know, Taylor Swift has her fans, and, you know, they're loyal, and they grew up with her, and they'll continue to be her fans. But Lizzo is something special. didn't like the big booty effect, but I get it because it was part of like her whole dance piece that she was doing. But she had like this big old booty behind her. So I don't want to seem like that get off my lawn kind of person. But I love her energy. I love her style. I think she's a heck of a performer. And it was interesting that she had a tricked out glittery Patron bottle. It's like, okay, girl, I know that you're young because you're drinking rock gut Patron. But, you'll grow up and you'll get better tequila as time goes on. I have faith in her. Missy Elliott. Wow. Missy did all her stuff. I was sorry that Ciara wasn't the one that got to present her the award. It was cool to have Nicki Minaj present the award, though. And Queen Latifah was there because the whole thing was in Jersey, right? So they brought out Latifah's whole flavor team, and Latifah did UNITY. But back to Missy Elliott. Missy has still got it. Sorry, folks. Lizzo is fire, but Missy is that. She still brings it. And she just about did everything that she has produced. And there were shots in there, people, Timbaland, Janet Jackson, Ciara. And she actually brought out the little girl who is now a grown woman that danced in one of her videos that had the little ponytails and did the hip hop dance, and she was a little cute girl. Well, she's a grown woman and she still has it too. And that was amazing. It was really something to watch. And Janet Jackson did a tribute, and Timbaland did a tribute, and what's that boy's name? Timberlake. Justin Timberlake. He did that too. So it was an interesting night because Taylor did this whole thing giving support to the LGBTQ community. And you had the cast of The Sopranos. And the Jonas Brothers did something interesting. Now, preface. I am not a Jonas Brothers fan. However, I do live with one in the house. So, this is one reason why we had to watch the awards. And so, they started their set in the same place that Bruce Springsteen used to play in, the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And it was pretty doggone good because they went from inside to out into a field where they had like thousands of fans screaming and waiting. So it was good. I like the way that was done. That was done well. And then, of course, like I said, Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature, Frizzell, I think his name is. He's got the long orangey colored looking dreads. And all these people came out and they ended the show. And I thought, this was really good. They actually did the hip hop awards right in the beginning of the award ceremony, because usually you don't see them. And it was good. I enjoyed it. That doesn't mean I'm going to watch it next year, because I really don't have an interest in the music video awards anymore. But it was good, and I was very surprised and pleased that it was well produced. Miley Cyrus sounds like Dolly Parton. That's all I have to say about that. She really does sound like Dolly Parton. So, after that, I kind of been watching different things. Oh, yes. Have to tell you about the Black Godfather, Clarence Avant from Climax, North Carolina, who went to Dudley High School in Greensboro but never finished. Clarence Avant has 6 degrees of separation from just about everybody. So you have to watch this special done on him by Netflix. And as it turned out, after a little Googling and research, his daughter is married to, I think he's the president and CEO. I want to say that. The president and CEO of Netflix. But Clarence Avant was the first Black man to have a house in Beverly Hills because his management group wanted him to be on the same level as the movie executives. And so Clarence Avant has touched everybody from the guy who wrote the Mission Impossible theme, because he used to play jazz with, I think, Miles Davis. And he wanted to break into doing movie and TV scores. So they sent Clarence Avant out there to be his agent. And the one thing that everybody says about Clarence Avant, he makes sure you get what you deserve as far as money and what's fair in a contract. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis told the story about how Clarence Avant called them in after meeting with their agent, and the agent was not getting them enough money. So Clarence Avant said to them, "So what do you need to produce a record for me?" So they started talking about everything, and they kind of lowballed themselves. And he said, "Never lowball yourself. Ask for what you need. Get what you need. If they don't give it to you, somebody else will." So when they came out of that meeting, they fired their agent and they got everything they needed, including the salaries they were looking for, from Clarence Avant. And they produced the SOS Band. Clarence Avant also is close friends, very, very tight with Quincy Jones. He also has, anybody that you can think of in the music and entertainment industry, Clarence Avant has touched. So it's very, very important that you watch The Black Godfather on Netflix, because you will be amazed as to his reach. Bill Withers was on Clarence Avant's record label, if you can believe that. You know that song, "Oh, it's so nice to be with you"? They were on Clarence Avant's label, and that was one of his big hits. Clarence Avant did one of Michael Jackson's world tours just because somebody wanted him to, not because he had any interest. He really wasn't sure as to what to do because he had never done anything like that before. But he went ahead and did it with Alan Heyman. Just again, the people that he's touched, the people that know him. Hank Aaron had a story to tell about Clarence Avant. Jim Brown had a story to tell about Clarence Avant. And you would think that somebody who was in the music industry would not be in the sports industry or managing careers for athletes. But Clarence Avant did that. So please do watch that on Netflix. And also watch the Sam Cooke story, because Sam Cooke's murder is still unsolved. And so that is something else I think that you would take a big interest in. It's Labor Day weekend. What are you going to do? I don't think I'm doing anything. Not with this foot, and I have to go to the doctor next week. I don't think I'm doing very much. I might hang out with the squad. That's goes without saying. And yes, I've done my porch duty. I have been over to the porch and enjoyed myself immensely. Have eaten on the porch. had a little libation on the porch, listened to some doggone good music on the porch. I'm telling you, better get over to that porch before it gets cold. That's Bab's porch, her veranda. You have to check that out. Now, the biggest thing that's going on with me as well is that my nephew's getting married. So most people think that I am an only child. I am not. I have two sisters. My older sister passed in 2014. She lived in Georgia. And this is her baby boy. I have a younger sister also, but she lives here in the state of Connecticut. But this is my oldest sister's baby boy, and he is getting married. And I have seen just about every cocktail dress you could possibly imagine on the internet. Okay? This interweb got some fly stuff and it got some ugly stuff. In the ugly, they can still charge you an amazing amount of money for. I'm just floored. But I have a lovely dress, and I'm sure you'll see it on social media once we make it down to the great ATL. Looking forward to hanging out with my nieces and nephews and my family. I'm very excited about this. I'm just kind of sitting in my sister's stead, you know, because she would have been over the moon. She would have been so excited and so happy. And the fact that we were actually coming to Georgia would just tickle her to no end. So this will be a wonderful, wonderful, actually it's in Libra season. I was going to say Virgo, but it's not. 2 squad members have birthdays this month as we are in Virgo season. My grandmother was a Virgo, come to think of it. But anyway, so that's the third thing that I've been really preoccupied with. The fact that I've got a big old wedding to go to. And it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. So between sickle cell, my ankle, the wedding, work, I ain't got no guests. My guest, was it last week? Last week fell ill. And here's hoping that John DeAndre does get better. We go back quite a ways, and I learned a lot from him. He really took this kid who thought she knew everything and showed me how to do things better and smarter and be more efficient. And for that, I will always be grateful. And I learned a lot from him at a time when radio news really was radio news and people listened to it. So John DeAndre will always hold a very special place in my mind and heart, because anytime you have a great teacher and you take that along with what you already pursue, think and you wrap it up with other things and you pass it on to other people, it's the greatest thing that you can do. And John DeAndre gave me the opportunity to kind of expand and really polish up my skills. So for him, I'll always be grateful. But John wasn't feeling well last week, and he was supposed to come on and talk about civics, which we will have to reschedule. Because I think, folks, y'all ain't listening or even paying attention to what your civic duty is. What do you know about government? What do you know about the 3 branches of government? You can't say you don't care, because if you don't care, then you end up where we are right now. And some people will say, oh, this president's doing a wonderful job. But anytime you sit with, and I've been listening to the farmers, And I've been listening to the people who make diesel engines. And I've been listening to people who have various businesses that are a part of trade, do big trade with China. They just don't see these tariffs as something that benefits them or their fellow citizens. And yeah, that's economics. That doesn't necessarily have to do with civics. But one of your duties is to vote. If you don't like something, you change it with your vote. And yes, there have been quite a bit of stories regarding voter suppression around the United States. There have been, as we already know, because we lived through it with the presidential election, there have been voting machines that have not worked. There have been ballots that have not been counted. And so part of your civic duty is protecting your right to vote. Yeah, your politicians, you think, are going to protect your voting rights, but you also have to pay attention and be aware of how your voting rights, not only are they affected, but what does voting mean? Think about that. What does it mean when you cast a vote for something as simple, well, not simple, but I'll say an older person, an older in New Haven, right? Because that's local. So what happens when you cast a vote for somebody to sit on your local governing board? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your neighborhood? How your streets are kept, how your trees are cut, how your garbage is picked up. What kind of funding do you get for different programs for the kids and the elderly in your neighborhood? That's what voting is. That's a part of civics. And it's important for you to pay attention as a citizen as to what happens. Do you know the 3 branches of government and what they do? It's called checks and balances, people. And if you don't have them, you're in a country that has one ruler, autonomy. Now, it's cool to be, autonomous in your house. You can ask my daughter how many times I told her that it is an autonomy in our house. But I think when you've lived under what is considered democracy, because let's face it, the great experiment that is called democracy has a whole lot of holes in it. Especially if you are not someone who owned slaves at one time and were male and were white. And while we've gotten away from, at least we think we have, legal slavery in the United States, and women can vote, that includes Black women who always get their families out to vote. We do the heavy lifting when it comes to talking to folks about voting and registering people to vote and getting our families and friends out to vote. We do that work. And when we can't vote, it's a problem. So you really need to, look at some civics. Take a minute with that wonderful device you have in your phone, in your hand. This thing is amazing. It's also the source of trouble from time to time. But it is amazing as to what you can learn, find out, not find out, find. you need to use this and study civics, because this is what it is. This will tell you everything you need to know and some things you may not want to know. So I'll get John back on. Also, I have a couple of really special folks that I want to get on the air because they are doing some big things in New Haven. And it's really interesting stuff. And I think they have not so much the story to tell, but information to give so that you can be enlightened and know what resources we have in this wonderful city. So I promise you, I hope to. I hope to have a guest next week after Labor Day and see what's going on in town. There's a lot going on. I know people are upset about the school bus moves. And there's a little controversy surrounding Representative Hayes out of Waterbury. She feels like the local press is using what she considers clickbait journalism. The press says, well, she said what she said. And I don't know why people feel like she doesn't have the right to say that. But she knows what kind of threats she's getting. And she knows how to characterize those threats. She's a very smart woman. And yesterday, I pulled a paragraph out of a story written by the Connecticut Post online by, I believe, Ken Dixon. I believe that's his name. That said, and I'm paraphrasing now, that, you know, she's a teacher by trade and she doesn't necessarily understand what it means to be a congressperson. Let me see if I can find it so I can get it right. Because if I'm going to wade into this fight, I need to have my facts right. And I just wonder, you know, I think sometimes we as journalists like to have a good fight, you know, because that's sort of what we do. Not necessarily fight as much as it is we want to tell the truth. And so we want to do it at all costs. And we want to make sure that the public gets the information right, which is what I'm doing now. So this is what I pulled from Ken Dixon, who wrote an article that appeared in the Connecticut Post or on the website of the Connecticut Post, ctpost.org. And I'm quoting his article. It's a sign that Hayes is having trouble transitioning from a school classroom where teachers dictate to the public policy realm. And Stuart McKinney Jr., whose father was a congressperson for a long time in southwestern Connecticut, says, she's new to politics. I think any member of Congress would want to be cultivating relationships with all of their local news outlets. I just think that this is a fight that doesn't necessarily need to be had. If she feels like they're using the stories to divide people, she has that right. And I'm walking out the room on that one. But let me tell you this. So this is the best one yet, okay? An 80-year-old couple was arrested in a sex sting in a Fairfield park. The couple told police they were just sitting in the car. Police say it's a popular spot for folks to meet their online dates. Now, that came from Channel 8 last night. Now, they say that they have decided to drop charges against the couple. But if you are in the park at 80, getting your freak on, more power to you. You are living life, you have lived life, and you're still enjoying life. What can you say? We only hope that we can do that at 80 years old. And with that, I'm out of here. I'm tired of hearing myself talk. You're listening to the show on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and newhavenindependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent, or just go to your Facebook page and look us up. Darlings, stay dry. Have a very good evening. And I promise you, I will not be here next week talking to myself. At least, I hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting stage show you've ever seen. Appearing live tonight. It's Young E. Fresh. This fresh crew.
Is it real? 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 Real?
Oh my God!
This is called the show. Excuse me, Dougie Fresh.
Yes!
Have you ever seen a show with fellas on the mic with 1 minute rhymes that don't come out right? They bite.
They never right.
That's not polite. Am I lying?
No, you're quite right.
Well, tonight, on this very mic, you're about to hear.
We swear, the best star rappers of the year. So,
Cheerio,
yell,
scream bravo.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Hey, yo, Doug.
What?
Put your ballies on.
Yo, Rick, I was about to, but I need a shoe home.
Why?
Because the shoes always hurt my toe.
6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes to get pressure on. On, on. 6 minutes to get pressure on.
Here we go. Here we go. Come on.
Come on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Come on.
Come on.
Yo, what's wrong with
Well,
that?
I don't know, they're late. Told them the time. Oh, I forgot the day.
Man, you did it again. Oh, no. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. We missed the show. No, we didn't.
What?
No, we didn't.
What?
No, we didn't.
Well, don't get us wrong. Excuse me, Dougie. Excuse me, Dougie. Excuse me, Dougie. Pressure on. On. You know it.
Slick Rick.
Well, here's a little something that needs to be heard. Doug, I was going downtown. Word. All alone, no one to be with. Stepped on the D train at 205th. I saw a pretty girl. So I sat beside her. Then she went like she was Tony the Tiger. I said, hold on, there's been a mistake. Honey, my name's Slick Rick, not Frosty Flakes.
Oh, golly Wally.
So she was raised in hell. She said, oh, my name is Maggie, but call me Michelle. Michelle, my little Sunday monkey, fun chatting on some, chatting on some. Slick Rick and rock that house, you know what I'm saying? And when I'm on the mic, there won't be no delaying. Bust a move, we show and prove. Hey yo, Doug, do that record jam on the groove.
Since I met you, baby, all I know is that I want more. I really thought that I had seen it all. Had no premonition that I would slip and fall. But just when I think that loving you is gonna make me so tired, you turn around and tell me something so damn sweet, and it takes me just a little bit higher. Since I met you, baby, all I know is that I want more. Since you've been gone, all the minutes they seem like hours. Tick tock, tick tock, won't you come home soon? 'Cause when it comes time to see you, there's only one thing I wanna do. I say goodbye, pretty mama. I really can't believe that this is true. I've been abused, I've been down so low. Been down so low, ain't so much lower that I could go. I got trouble on my mind, I got a burden on my soul. And since I met you, baby, all I know is that I want more. All I know is that I want more. The only thing that I want, the only thing that I need, the only thing that I want, the only thing that I need. So gimme some more, when I wake up in the morning and in the middle of the night. Good woman, you make me feel alright. Oh, you know you look alright. So gimme some more. So gimme some more. Since I met you, baby.
This is Harry Droz, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, New Haven.